What's up, legends? My name is Liberty V Justice. There's no period in my V because my victories never end, and I'm here to help you get your victories, legends. This is Stay Strapped Saturday, and it is all about self-care for creators. Stop with the DMs and the texts. Not just social media parasites, but all parasites. Check it out. First of all, I want to give a special shout out to my Aunt Kathy. It's her birthday. Go shorty. It's your birthday. And I want you to hear this quick voice note that she left for me on the podcast when I first started a couple years ago. Check it out.
Great job. I enjoyed your lesson of the day. It was good hearing your voice. I love you. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're very confident. And I'm sure you're going to achieve everything you want, honey. I love you. You're infinite in value in my life.
To this day, I still hold that message from my Aunt Kathy so dear to my heart. Every time that I hear it, I cry. Okay, all right. Not every time, but I get teary in my tear ducts. Yes, I know, I'm evil. Bleh, I want money, but yeah, I'm a bad person. I know. Come on, haters. Come on, baby. But, yeah, no, I do cry sometimes when I hear that. But anyway, thank you for the message. Check it out. That's the thing I'm trying to explain to you today. So this is about self-care for creators, all right? And it's mainly about the social media parasites, but anybody can be a parasite. And what is a parasite? The definition of a parasite is a creature that sucks the life out of its host, not only without making a contribution to the host, but also just sucking the life. They're not just worthless. They're absolutely deadly, okay? And I'm not saying that people are worthless. The parasitic attitudes and actions and reactions and energy is contagious, like I said, okay? So here's the thing. People are going to do what they want to do, and you cannot stop them. So when it comes to, okay, I'm going to be totally honest. My problem is that in the beginning, when I became like TikTok famous, quote unquote, at this point I have about 200, almost 200,000 fans, quote unquote, on TikTok, right? And when I first started, it lured me in basically like a bug getting lured into a bug zapper, you know? It was almost like I couldn't control it, you know? Because, you know, from coming from a place where, you know, where I felt like I didn't matter, and, you know, getting all that attention, because before I used to feel worthless. You know, I felt like I was worthless. I was unseen, unheard, unknown, unloved. And, you know, just nobody, like what I said and the way I felt and everything, and my dreams and goals, and like those things did not, my opinions, nothing mattered. It wasn't important. And coming from that place, and I wasn't important. That's how I felt. And that's how I felt. That doesn't mean that's the truth, but that's how a lot of other people feel too. And I got lured into it, like I said, like a bug into a bug zapper. And it messed me up. So it took me a long time to learn these lessons. And that's why, because I've been on TikTok 2.5 years now. It took me a long time to learn these lessons. And that's why I want you to get strapped and stay strapped. Okay, and that's why I do this show for free. So share the show with a friend, because it would really help me to reach more people that I can empower. Okay, a lot of people need to hear this message. You know, like I said, this is your ammo for your arsenal. Okay, it's spiritual warfare. You know, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, energies. You know, and like I said, energies are contagious. So I want to pass on that good energy to you. We are more than conquerors in Christ who loves us, okay? We're at war, and like I said, I'm going to give you today more ammo for your arsenal, okay? Oh, and by the way, if you have anything you want to say, questions, comments, anything you want to say, how did the show help you, or any clarification, what do you mean by this, Liberty? Can you explain this? Please leave a voice message, and like my Aunt Kathy did, and you can do that. It's in the show notes, and thank you so much. That would be amazing. I would love to hear your opinions, your questions, and you could have a chance of being featured on the show, okay? So thank you very much. All right, you're worth it. So check it out. Now, so with me answering all of my DMs and everything, like when I first became quote unquote, like I said, TikTok famous, and I felt that I had to answer all my DMs on TikToks. I felt that I had to answer all my comments. I felt that, okay, so I did that, and then, but, I never got any sleep to begin with. Not no sleep, but I was homeless at the time, and I didn't get a lot of sleep. And, like I said, it really drained me of my energy. And so doing all of because, check it out. You think that the reason you're doing these things, right? You're answering the DMs, you're answering all the comments, right? And so then, I started answering all my DMs I got on Instagram, and I started posting more on Instagram. I started going live on Instagram a couple times a day. I started inviting them to go live with me. I started doing, Facebook live streams and Facebook, because that was my first, before I even got on YouTube, I did Facebook. I got to go back to Facebook because I got to get more fans there, and I got to help more people, and people got to know about what I'm doing, and I can grow my business, and I can help people and make them feel good, and blah, blah, blah. And, and then, and then I did more on my YouTube channel, and then I did more. And people were like, "Oh, you got Snapchat?" And I wasn't using Snapchat, so I downloaded Snapchat to my phone again, started doing Snap again. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's never ending. And then I started this podcast as well. Like, I had the podcast, I just didn't really do much with it because, there's only so much that one person can do in one day. And not to mention, you got to take care of your own needs. Like I said, I was homeless as well. I had to walk everywhere. Well, I didn't have to, but the buses didn't come very much in Rancho Cucamonga. I only got a shower once a week. I had to go in the store, brush my teeth. I had to go in there. Sometimes I had to wash up. I had no clean clothes. Only maybe once a week I would go do laundry, maybe because it was like a 6-mile walk, dude, with all my stuff. And come on, like there's only so much that a person could do. So it reminded me to go back. And just like now, I'm reminding myself again, because when I had cancer, like I said, who cares? I say this almost every day. And the reason I say this is because I want to remind you and myself and keep myself more accountable. Now, when I was sick, the reason is because I had cancer. The reason is because I didn't take care of my body. I didn't take care of my mind. I had traumas that I didn't deal with. And I was sick, and I was in a hotel room. I had no place to live, but I had a hotel that I could afford in Erie, Pennsylvania at the time. I had no home because I had fled. I had a home. The Lord liberated me of my home, but then I fled. Is that fled. I fled a situation where it was not healthy for me in another place I was living for a few months. But, I'm sitting there with cancer. I'm sitting there trying to get my master's degree. I was 80 pounds. I only weighed 80 pounds. And, it's like, wow, am I really like, come on, why am I I'm like, I can't be that small. Everybody was like, you're so small. You look terrible. You look like shit. You need to eat better. You're a vegan. You shouldn't be a vegan. And no, I wasn't being a vegan. It wasn't about like not eating animals. I don't care about that. Like, I love animals. I love to eat them, right? I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I love to eat certain animals. I was a big meat eater back in the day. I do eat meat and cheese, etc., eggs. You obviously know that. But it was about self-discipline, self-control, finding new ways to eat foods. And it was about, just like I said, learning and becoming healthier and making better choices with foods, and my own discipline and self-control in my spiritual warfare. Okay. So, but when I did these things, I realized that, not only did I have to control the food that went in my mouth, I had to control what came out of my mouth. I had to control like, I need to go to bed right now. Right. And it's not even like, it wasn't even really like, maybe I should go to bed. I'm hustling too hard. It wasn't even that. At the time, I was so fucking tired. I was just so tired. Like, I was tired all the time. And you would think like it would, you're feeling bad, you're feeling sick, you get sicker, and you would think at some point I would have learned my lesson. You would have think that I would have rested before that, but I didn't. I didn't rest until my body had no choice but to lay down and go, and I was in the bed a lot. Like I wasn't sleeping, but it was so hard to get out of bed. I was in the bed reading my college books. Then when I realized I had cancer, they told me I was going to die. I'm in this hotel room and I'm writing finishing my article and my master's degree. And, it was a beautiful thing. My very first article got published. It's called Better to Bless. If you'd like to read it, let me know. I'll just put it in the show notes. It's called Better to Bless. It was right before I changed my name. Actually, no, I'll put the one in there. You can read that I changed my name on it, but it's a PDF. But anyway, the point is this. I became Liberty and changed my name because I became free. Free of other people, free of other, and I started walking again when I got my master's degree and I got my sobriety coin. This was December 2015. And, I also started walking that day because that was the day that I found out that, how capable I am, how worthy I am, because my article had gotten published a couple months before that in the Salvation Army War Cry magazine. That's worldwide, and it was like, wow, I never thought that I could do that. Like, I never thought that I could be that smart, and I never thought that I could be that powerful. I never thought anybody would pay me for writing in a magazine. It was the happiest time of my life, and that's why, and then I kind of felt irrelevant again, I guess, being homeless and everything, but I get on TikTok and here we go. So, yeah, it's principalities, and like you really have to get over your feelings of insecurity, inadequacy, fear, anxiety, because if not, you'll be eaten alive, just like the bug in the bug zapper. Like, these people will do this. Not that they can do anything, because like I said, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. And I'm not even talking about haters at this point. I'm just talking about people so needy, they always want your attention, but they never want to do anything for you. They want to DM you, but they don't want to comment and watch your free YouTube channel. They don't want to listen to your podcast. They'll do it later, but later never comes. Later on, they're going to buy something from you that costs $1, and it never comes, right? So my grandma always said, if someone wants to get a hold of you, they will do what it takes to find you, Liberty. Believe me. Because she'd had the experience before, right? Because I always used to make the argument, I got to leave my phone on at night. Listen, Liberty, there's no emergency that can't wait till the morning. There's nothing you can do at that time anyway. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. So wait till the morning, and then, after you wake up and get yourself together, then turn your phone on. And proven fact today, I got a new aunt. Shout out. I got a new family member. I'm so happy. The craziest thing, her name is Dawn. And I have a new aunt, but guess what, Aunt Kathy? Nobody can replace you ever. Nobody's ever going to beat my Aunt Kathy, so don't even try it, Dawn. Don't even try it. Seriously. But I do love you, and I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I know about how old you are and that your first name. That's about it. But I'm excited to meet you one day, and I'm really glad that you found my mom and Aunt Kathy. So, but on that note, if somebody wants to do it, not just if somebody wants to find you and talk to you, because we're talking, you don't need to answer your DMs, okay? You don't even need to answer your text, because I lost like I said, all my so-called friends and everything, and the people that were there for me, they found me and they responded and all that good stuff. They were there. They support my YouTube channel, my Aunt Kathy, my mom, even Dawn, that I've never met, don't know anything about her, my new aunt, already is following me on TikTok and Facebook. So my mom says she's following me, but I just haven't seen her yet. But I will find you. I will find you. Yes, I will. I will come to your house, and I will hug you, and I will love you. I'm just kidding. Seriously, though, I will find people. But, someone cares about me, I'm going to go out of my way to break my fucking neck to find that person, okay? So it goes the same for everybody else. My friend Carlos, that we talked about yesterday, he has a YouTube channel. I'm going to go out of my way to support him in his YouTube channel, his book, everything, because he's amazing, and because he has been there for me listening to my podcast, reviewing the podcast, All of those things. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people that are going to support you, they're going to support you. And guess what? You don't even have to ask them. Because Carlos found me on TikTok somehow on a live stream or something. It was before he really had his TikTok going. And before he wrote his book. He found me. He wrote the book. He went to my live stream. Finally bought my NFT. And we connected through email. Now we talk on the phone sometimes. We usually just text. But we have talked on the phone once. 3 hours. Carlos, I have not talked on the phone that long since, and I can tell you right now, 2002. Because I remember exactly where I was 20 years ago. I remember exactly where I was. I was on Polk Street. I was with my ex, and it was when I was talking to my friend Rose. Shout out if you're listening. Probably not, but I love you, Rosie. My girl, she had a birthday. Her name's April, so her birthday was on April 12th. And so, anyways, we've known each other since kindergarten. She's crazy. That's why I love her. Plus, she's a true bitch. She's a rider. No offense. Sorry, I should. It does just how we talk to each other, though. But that's why we don't talk anymore. But I love you, girl. She's a ride or die. She told me my man tried to cheat with her. She's the only one who cared about me. So I still love her to the death. You know, she's loyal. But think about it, dude. Think about Eminem, right? Do you think that he became Eminem by answering DMs and texts to his friends and stuff? Hell no. Matter of fact, not answering the DMs, not answering his texts, not answering his phone calls is what got him successful because he's too busy working on his craft. Correct? Yeah, correct. He's focused. Okay? And like I said, the people that matter, like Dr. Dre, Royce, right? Joyce Joyner, what's his name? Joyner Lucas, all the people that matter to Eminem, all his friends, all his family, producers, and dang, I need to eat something. Paul, all these people, they knew. The people that mind don't matter. Everybody that was talking shit, girl, whoever, to Eminem about why don't you answer your texts, why don't you answer your DMs. First of all, he ain't answering DMs. He never does. He probably never will. I don't send him DMs. I send him stories, and it goes to DMs. So that's how I know he ain't even looking at that. He ain't even looking at my tweets or nothing. That's cool with me, though. I understand. I'm trying to be like him because I'm trying to tell you, man, like, I am whatever you say I am. I was afraid people were going to talk bad about me. And people are going to talk about you no matter what, because if you're doing something big, guess what? The higher you go, the brighter the lights. And the brighter the lights, the hotter the heat. The higher you go, the brighter the lights. And the brighter the lights, the hotter the heat. Remember that. Truth be told, dude, I really hate the phone calls. I hate being on the phone. Everybody knows that. My family, why are you so mean? Why are you so rude? Why are you yelling at me? Like, I'm not yelling. I'm walking down the street. I'm doing stuff. I got stuff to do. I never did like talking on the phone, man. I just didn't know how to say no. Text messages, it's just a waste of time, man. So again, I went to the point where I'm not answering texts. I'm not answering comments. I'm not answering DMs on social media. I decided I'm not answering any more DMs starting May 1st, right? And I implemented that. I'm not answering DMs because I got my NFT, and part of my NFT, it's $50, and part of that, and that's how, like I said, that's how Carlos and I met. He bought my NFT because you can tell when somebody pays, they appreciate. If you pay for something, you appreciate it, right? So he paid $50. In essence, he paid $50 to have a friendship with someone like me. I mean, that is an insane discount. Like, that's a great, you can't really get a better deal than that. I mean, it's not like we're going to it's not like he owns me, right? But seriously, I decided I'm not going to answer DMs anymore because I want to find out who really is serious and wants to be, who is creating things and is actually serious about what they're creating, and who, not someone who says they're going to start a YouTube channel, not someone who says that they're going to make music or they're going to write books, they're going to draw pictures, whatever, but somebody who's actually doing it and not making excuses as to why they don't have time for it and why they don't have this time to support my free YouTube channel, my free podcast. You know what I mean? So because you need someone, like I said, we'll talk further about support later, but you need someone on your side. And these people just do not care, like I said. So I thought I had to answer all these things. And it goes back to feeling, like not feeling worthy enough in a way, afraid I'm going to lose the fans. Someone's going to get mad at me. They're going to talk bad about me like Eminem. And it doesn't matter. Like the people that mind don't matter. And the people that matter don't mind. Okay. And man, like here's the thing too, is I never felt that lonely with so many people around. DMs on all platforms, answering my comments on YouTube and all this stuff. And I never felt that lonely because so many people, quote unquote, loved me, but not one of them actually supported my business is what I'm doing, watching my YouTube channel, listening to my music, reading my blog that I have on my website, my newsletter that I have now, and listening to my podcast. They didn't do anything. Listening to my podcast, they didn't do any of the things that mattered to me. Never mind, supporting me financially. I wasn't even asking for them to support me financially or to buy things from me. Like, it's crazy because they just don't care. They're just using you, right? So my plan is this. I decided instead of answering the DMs and instead of, answering so-called friends' text messages or texting them, I'm going to be like when I had cancer. Wait and see if somebody whoever reaches out to me and thinks about me, that's who cares. My mom, my Aunt Kathy, Carlos. There's very few people that care about me, but they also listen to my podcast, my YouTube channel. So that shows that they actually care not just about me, but my mission and what God put me on this planet to do, which is to help you, right? So, number one, I want you to get from this a couple things. Number one, be so good they can't ignore you, okay? You don't need to answer the comments, the texts, the DMs, the phone calls. Just focus on making the amazing content because the ones that you're trying to reach will find you. And here's the thing too, if you do feel that you need to answer comments, DMs, texts, phone calls, etc., you won't have the time or the energy to create the amazing content. Your content will suck. So be so good they can't ignore you. The people that you're looking for will find you, but you have to be so good that they can't ignore you. And that means spending time alone and not answering text, comments, and DMs. You can answer some comments. I'm just saying you don't need to answer all your DMs or texts or phone calls. You need to take care of yourself. And for me, I love being alone. And the best and the biggest self-care tip for me isn't necessarily like taking a hot bath or drinking hot tea or whatever, some dumb shit. It's taking care of my body. It's eating healthy, drinking water, sleeping when I need to be sleeping. And most importantly to me, even more important than all of those things besides sleep and water, is creating amazing content. Because I want to be the best. I want to be so good that they can't ignore me. When I listen to my podcast and it sounds like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like, you didn't even stay on topic. That's terrible. That's what feels bad. That's why people are not listening, right? So, number one, be so good they can't ignore you. And the ones that you're trying to reach will find you. If you don't focus on your content, and you do focus on and feel like you have to answer all the texts and DMs, those people don't care about you, number one. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. So if you do that, you're not going to be able to make the amazing content and you're not going to succeed in your goals and your mission. All right? So forget the people who don't care. They'll drain you of your fucking life and they don't care. And they're not going to apologize. They're not going to be sorry. You're the one that's going to be sorry. Okay? Number two, you will become more lonely when you stop relating to the one person, the only person that matters and the only person you need. That is you. You don't need anybody else. You don't need Eminem or Rihanna or some famous person, put their name here. You don't need that famous person or anybody else for that matter to help you or to support your content. You need you to focus on your content and become so good that they cannot ignore you. Okay? Number three and final. You think that answering all of these texts, comments, DMs, etc. is the reason why you're succeeding. But it's killing your energy and creativity, and the opposite is now having effect. At one time, this may have been serving you and your platforms to a certain extent. But you are on a whole new level now. And the new level requires a new you, a new paradigm, new habits, new learning, new researching, more of what's most important. And what's most important always is setting boundaries and self-care. Okay? So take care of yourself. Make amazing content. Stop feeling that you have to cater to people and answer their texts and DMs. Because like I said, the ones who matter don't mind, and the ones who mind don't matter. And when you know your worth, you'll stop giving discounts. Don't worry about the money. They will pay you when you become so good they can't ignore you. Like I said, thank you so much for that, Carlos, for buying my NFT. And Mom bought it too. So now that you've beta tested your message and you started building your brand, and you can let go of the notion that you need to be there for all people all the time. They will abandon you, they will shit on you, and they will not support you no matter what. Most of them. Okay? So let's think about let's say you have 10,000 fans on TikTok. You have 10,000 or Instagram. How many of them would be there for you if you were homeless? How many of them would come to the hospital if you were sick? Or even text you to see how you're feeling? 0. None. That's the answer. None. There may be a few family members or a few fans. Okay? For the most part, if anybody does text you or try to see how you're doing when something happens and you're going through a challenge, they're only doing it to pull you back and reel you back in like the parasites that they are, so they can get your attention, steal your energy like the vampires, the parasites they are, and once they get it, they will abandon you once again, and they will never support your business for free or otherwise. Okay? I'm not a gambler, but if I'm going to bet, I'm going to bet on me, like Beyonce said. Beyonce said that. Bet on yourself, and believe me in this. Believe me in what I'm saying, okay? It's not easy, and I have to remind myself of this every single day. Okay? I text out my podcast, and I text out my season 1 episodes of how legends are made, from living in my car to superstar, and on my personal phone number every day. And I have a few more listeners, and I have a few more views on my YouTube channel, but for the most part, nobody texts me back. My mom, my Aunt Kathy, and my friend Carlos. That's pretty much it. Okay? That's fine. Nobody cares about me? Cool. That's less responsibility, less of my life drained, and more of my time and energy and focus and limitless power can go into creating amazing things and being so good that they can't ignore me. Because I'm going to keep my light bright by not talking to people, and I'm going to burn brighter than anyone ever thought possible, even me. Because I don't do this show for them. I do this show for you. And that means I need to get better. I need to step up, because leaders go first. You're worth it. My name is Liberty V. Justice. There's no period in my V, because my victories never end, and I'm here to help you get your victories, legends. You're worth it. Share this with a friend who needs to hear this today, and just remember, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.